I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands and your fingers. Your ears with get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get the fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my at the back that like a popo. Don't do these they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they going wild down in Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a like a polio. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley. From the got in the gently. Ain't being friends with these. When I was down, I so had sympathy. But that's how I go when you broke. Now I'm like mistletoe. This do my own. Not gonna lost on these new clones. Then she asked for a loan. Had to laugh, then I told her get gone. Gon' get that me on. And up, give me not a thing.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. The first quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. They go play action here on first down. And an alley to run. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And Rudolph has it left side. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook, and he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Let's go, let's go.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. About free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Cook following the penalty. Room to run inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV. Called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. Off the play fake, Cousins. He'll buy some time right. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good. That middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. But he's got it.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Cousins now on 2nd down. Dancing to his left. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stock troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Two.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
Bring the energy. Hot. Listen to me.
They'll toss it to Ajayi. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jay Ajayi, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Go, go. Here we go.
Now this time, Wentz will throw. The reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Flush to his right. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
So forget the 3 and out. The penalty makes this 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, Creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Putting it in, Jackson left side. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. He may get a few more tacked on for good measure. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. To throw, it's Wentz. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. In for the score. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go play action. Cousins. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Oh, then the spin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. To play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Hey, we're good, we're good, we're good.
On second down, Cousins again. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. To the air again, it's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. A Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Go. 120.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Being chased out left. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And that'll bring up second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
All right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
On play action, Wentz. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. Man, it's caught inside the 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 14-7. Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On play action, Cousins. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. From From the gun, here's Cousins. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. He got 29 yards that time. Cousins now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So they just do get the touchdown in before halftime, and now a PAT will tie it.
So what we're seeing is one team is going to be really excited right now. How about the other side, though? Will they be deflated, or will they go ahead and gather themselves, regroup at halftime, and come back out because we had an even half?
Yeah, we did. We'll see. Should be a good second half, that's for sure. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And out come the Eagles. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Eagles on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8.
There we go. Back, man. 120.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Anthony Barr with a big-time sack on third down, and it'll be a loss of 7. The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. For a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
How much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. Second down, Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Cousins on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Listen to me.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Eagles have recovered.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Now Wentz. Going for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. They'll look to set up his blockers. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they got to feel pretty good about it. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Cousins now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now Cousins. He's going to fire one deep, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage. So
the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A first down throw for Cousins. His throw caught right around the 6. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try to run with a J. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to take the lead. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead is now 21-14. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now a handoff looking right. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Philly. And even 50 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Wentz now on first down, and his pass incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Everson Griffin in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Go.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And Elliott puts this one through. And that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. Then they're running right through it. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Bartney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like he said, listen, we're going to sell the go. Just go. Let's see who's faster.
And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine.
Lino! Leave it. Bring up 48. 300. Gun.
Cousins now on 2nd down. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. To throw, Cousins. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
They'll
run it now out of the gun. Showed off the juke, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, this game's over.
And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. Here's a giant. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They come out here in the eye. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? Hoping for a 4th down stop. Instead, they flinch and move the chains.
Flinch, jump, not watching the ball. All the sins that you're not supposed to commit, they come into play there.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. They run again with Ajayi. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jay Ajayi with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Bailey now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The Eagles hustling to the line, clock rolling. This is Howard on 2nd down. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
The Eagles on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Here we go.
Now this time, Wentz will throw. Steps away to his left. And this is going to be incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Wentz, gotta have this one. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
50, here we go.
Now it's Ajayi. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Hey. 4 down. Split 50. Check 3. Shoot. 2.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Minnesota, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.